morning. It's Friday and we're painting. Woo! I hope you guys have all had an awesome week. I'm getting notifications, I'm just sliding along. And I hope this view is working. If it's not working, please tell me, because I've got my camera on a tripod and at a different angle, and I'm not sure if it's coming across, so tell me if it's not. Thank you. Looks like I'm here on my own for now, so I guess I'll start painting until people arrive. If people arrive, people might not. Today I'm just going to be here for about half an hour again. I'm going to be painting bark today. Oh, hello, someone. I don't know who that is, but hi, thanks for coming. Today I'm going to be painting this stem part, or bark, just because I've sort of progressed on the leaves, so they're quite dark, and I want this to be darker, so it all kind of fits. Oh, hi Lara, how are you going? I hope you're well. And while I was working on the leaves, I think last time we did this, I talked about just committing to colours and just putting them down and hoping that they'll be fine. So I tried to do that, and I put some white on these highlighted parts, and then the white looks really bad. So I'm going to paint over that today as well and do some light green instead of the white. I will bring you in closer actually so you can see, because you probably can't really see from there, which is going to stuff up this angle, but it's okay. I don't know if you can see that, but the white just looks a bit off. It's sort of here, and it almost comes up as a grey sort of colour, I guess, a little bit. Probably because the green's already there and it's doing the light stuff, and the white just looks really weird. So we're going to get rid of that today as well. I wanted to start by talking about how I actually got this drawing on the wall, because we haven't really gone into that. I think I talked about it super briefly last time we did this, but I didn't really go into any detail, which is not helpful if you want to paint something on your wall, with permission, of course, unless you live alone in your own house, and then you can do whatever you want, like me. So basically the way that I do it is that I looked at the reference image and drew it onto my wall with grey lead, and then I stood back and adjusted the proportions so I thought that they looked right. That isn't necessarily the best way to do it, so if you're wanting to do it yourself and you're maybe unsure about putting drawings on your wall, you can use a grid to help you if you like. So you can like draw a grid on top of the image that you're using, and then draw the same kind of grid on the wall, and then just fill in the spots in each little square, which helps with proportions and stuff like that. Or you can use a projector, which I have done before for a very, very, very big drawing, and that just helps you make sure the proportions are right if you're not confident doing it. So, or just if the drawing you're doing is huge. They're very helpful if you want to do it that way. So, now that that's done, if anyone has questions, please throw them my way. I will try and answer them. I'll try and keep an eye on the little comments as they come up. Right now I am going to start painting this. So, at the moment this is the darkest brown that I've got, and I want a darker brown to balance out these dark colours. So I'm going to mix a darker brown. I have this colour. Whoa! That's pretty much this dark colour. So to get that darker, I'm just going to put a little bit of black in it, which I wouldn't usually do. The reason being is because black can be really, really harsh. Oh, hi Catherine, how's it going? Black can come across as really harsh, so usually I'll try and avoid it, and sometimes I might use a dark blue or a dark green just because it comes off a little warmer. Dark is just a bit intense, or black is a bit intense, but because I don't have a darker colour, I'm going to go with a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of black and then mix it and hope that it doesn't come off too cold feeling. So, just gonna sit here and mix these. And I might actually need a bit more black because it's not quite dark enough. It's not bad. This is going to be a very chill session. I'm going to try and talk as much as I can, but I'm just going to paint today. So some of you might find that very boring, but it could be satisfying also. So I'm just going to paint and you can watch it as it develops. I actually have my reference image here today, which is when my iPad doesn't fall over, which is this. So I'm drawing that one at the moment, or painting that one. So just going to try and darken this. Oh, see. I don't know if you can see that, but that brown has come out nearly exactly the same as the brown that was already there. Oh, it's darkened it a little bit, but I want it to be darker. So I'm going to mix some more black in there. I'm glad it's relaxing. I hope it's relaxing. We're just chilling today. Ah, oh, thanks, Danica. I'm glad. We're just having a chill session. We're just talking about art and painting the wall. That's it. It's just a nice relaxing thing to do on your Friday. It's still not as dark as I want it to be. So when I'm painting this, I'm just sort of, I guess, I would say feathering it out. So I'm putting the darkest colour, or the most paint, up the top here, where I know it's dark, and then I'm just sort of dragging it down. And as I drag it down, the colour kind of disappears from the brush a little bit, or it just drags it out. So it looks better in terms of blending this dark colour into this not as dark colour, which I think is sort of coming across in the video that you guys are seeing. It looks like it's sort of blending from the dark to the light, which is what we want. That's the goal. I am going to go into this bit and pop some darks in here too. So I'm just trying to build up the dark shadows so it looks like the bark is flaking. That's to try and get it to look like it would in reality. And because bark is the bark that we're doing now is quite flaky, you can kind of get away with doing it really messy. Which I like messy art. That's my kind of art. It's fun. And you don't have to worry too much about being perfect, which is great. building colour and shadow and stuff, all you're really doing is creating some depth of field perception. Words. So just making sure that the darkest parts that you can see, messy art is the only type of art you can do. That's good. Messy art is fun art. All art is fun art. But I used to do very, very precise, very perfectionist art, and I don't know, I got bored of that quite quickly. It just, I find messy art a lot more expressive, I guess. That's just my personal opinion. All art is fun. All art is good. I'm just looking back at my reference image to figure out where these shadows go. Last time I didn't have my reference image up, and then a couple of these leaves look a bit weird. Same law that I took up. Yeah, right? It's kind of nice not being able to erase it. It, I don't know, it gives you that sense of permanence, so whatever you put down, you have to stick with it, and that's just what you have to do. You just gotta go with it and hope that you can fix it or amend it to look how you want it to look. I feel like I should have some music on, but I don't have any music that is royalty free. Yes. Maybe I'll look into some music next time, and then you guys don't have to listen to me talking nonsense. So I don't know if that's coming across, but you can sort of see that it's building, and it looks like the shadows are developing, and then you've got like the lights over here, and you've got the dark sides over here, and it's sort of balancing all the darks in there, and then the darker brown also balances with the dark green, so you've got that same level of darkness. Oh, thanks, Yuna. So the shadows that you're doing are all the same, I guess, depth where they're darkest. That was a bad explanation. Basically, I'm trying to balance it. Yeah, that's what I'm going for. I'm trying to balance the shadows and the depths of the image. I told you last time that I was going to look up some art theory, and then I didn't. So this is what happens. I babble. Ooh, I don't know about that part that I just put in there. But with this, I'm really not doing much in terms of... Oh, I don't know. I don't like that, but it's okay. I'm not doing much in terms of technique or precision or specific strokes and stuff. I'm basically just doing little parts of brown where I think the darkest part should be, and then it just sort of creates this illusion that there's light and shadow, and that it's more three-dimensional than obviously it actually is because it's two-dimensional, but it looks three-dimensional. It's all the illusion. I'm gonna make this brown a tiny bit darker. Oh, it's already been 16 minutes. Wow. This goes so fast. I get a bit absorbed. And then I lose track of time. The joy of painting. Okay. This is looking a lot darker now. It might actually be a little bit too dark, but sometimes I'm not 100% sure how the colour's going to look here when I mix it here. Sometimes, because there's colours underneath, this colour that I've mixed will look a bit different than it does on this board. So I'm just going to hope that this colour is coming out right. Yeah, it's a bit better. I don't know if that's actually coming across on your end, but it's a lot darker on my end. I'm actually going to get a smaller brush because this part in here is a little bit fiddly. Next time I promise I'm going to have music. Then we can all just sit here and paint. You guys can paint on your end. And then you can comment photos of your paintings and we can share art together. That sounds fun. Can we do that? Can someone please start painting and then put a comment of their painting and it'll just be great and we can all be happy sharing our art together. That sounds nice. Because I've mixed this darker colour, I'm going to put a little bit more depth into these shadows as well, just sort of building up where the darkest parts would be. And just adding a little bit more detail. With this particular kind of painting, because it's so big, it's a lot easier to get the little details in with a smaller brush, and then you can kind of do a bit more of that precision stuff if you want to do it. At the moment it's very, this brush, I can't really see it, but this brush is really sort of flat, so it lets me put in those initial details and get like a wide spread of paint, and then I've got this smaller one which will let me do the more precise detail and just build it up so it looks I don't know, so it's got those different dimensions. Oh yeah. There's a comment. Oh, thank you, Lynn. That's okay if you're not a painter or a drawer. You don't have to be. I feel like I say this to anyone that says they're not a painter or a drawer. Just give it a go. I think everyone is. Everyone's got their own ways of expressing themselves creatively. And you know, if it's something that you want to do, it's a skill, so it's something you can learn if you want. I'm just putting in a couple of little lines so it looks a bit flaky. Because we put in all this effort initially with layering all these colours, when you get to this stage where you're adding the darker details, you've already got a lot of work that's been done for you, because you've got these light bits and then you've got these slightly darker bits, and it's already got quite a bit of differing colour in there. So when you're popping in the darks or like popping in these little details, it's a lot easier. You've already done most of the work. I'm actually just going outside of the lines a little bit here. I know, ooh, blasphemous, going outside of the lines. But I don't want it to be too perfect. I want it to look like a tree would look, and trees don't look perfect. They have bumps and lumps. I think I'm going to stop with the bark part now. I don't want to overdo it, so when I'm doing this, I'll tend to stop after a little while, because sometimes you can do too much and then it ends up looking a bit different than you'd like it to look. So I'm just going to stop and let it dry, and then come back to it another day if I think it still needs a bit more work. But it just gives you a bit of time to have a bit of a break from it and step back and look at it when you're in a different mood, or when you've done a bit more of the painting, and then you can see if it still needs some work. So I'm going to fix up this white part now because I don't like it. This is all the joys of trial and error. Oh, thank you, Catherine. It's getting there. Wait till we end up doing this flower. That is going to be hard. And it might spell disaster for the painting, but it'll be okay. We'll get through that. The reason why I think that's going to be really hard is because I don't have bigger brushes, And this particular flower has quite a few long strokes in it, which sort of are going to be tricky to mimic with the brushes that I have. Also, there's a lot of, there's white underneath and then red on top, and just negotiating those different colours, because it's kind of hard to put white over the top of things, I find anyway. You can do it, but it just doesn't quite look the same. Which is why I'm fixing this white that I've tried to put over the top of the green. Because it's got the green there, it just doesn't look right. Which is not a great explanation. Not a technical explanation anyway. But just the colours just don't go together as well as they should. I don't know if that's coming across. It's probably a bit, probably not quite. I think that looks better. I think. Might even need a little bit of yellow. Maybe. We'll experiment. If anyone has questions, please throw them my way. I will answer them as well as I can. But if you're happy just watching me paint, do that too. Because I'm having a nice time just painting. I don't know if you can really see that. I'm just painting green over the white that I put in the other day, because I don't really like how the light looks. Oh, thank you, Simone. It's getting there. As I mentioned the first time we did this, I don't actually know what I'm doing in terms of painting. I'm not a trained painter. I did drawing classes when I was 12-ish, 11 or 12, and that sort of taught me the fundamentals, but I haven't really done any formal training or learning since then. It's just stuff that I've picked up along the way, just in my own time. So this painting project is a big learning curve for me. This is the first thing that I've really properly painted at this scale as well. I have done a large scale stuff before, but it was charcoal and ink, which is a lot more comfortable for me. You can sort of blend it out, and it's much more in my comfort zone, whereas this is very outside of my comfort zone. But I think this sort of stuff is all about experimentation and trying new things. I'm happier with how that's looking now. I don't know if it's translating across to you all. It might not be because it's quite, the parts that I'm painting right now are quite small in detail. But it's getting rid of that white, which just looks a bit harsh against the green. Next time we do this, I'm going to be starting on the flower, and that's going to be fun. You should all tune in for that. Oh, thank you everyone. That's very nice. Yeah, I'm quite happy with how it's turning out as well. It's looking good. It's a bit messy, but I'm okay with that. It'll be fun to see what it looks like when it's all done, because this is only one flower. We have another one to do over here. Yeah, it's a process of building up layers slowly and slowly and just giving it a go. Exactly. Usually I'm quite impatient, so this building up layers slowly business is also very new and very out of my comfort zone. It's good because it's forcing me to be a bit more patient with the art that I'm making. Usually I like to just get in there and scribble something and make it look nice within, you know, an hour or two. Whereas this is very ongoing and forces me to take a bit more time and consider the choices that I'm making a bit more, which isn't a bad thing. And it's just nice to see something that you create become a finished piece, I guess. Yeah, the green is looking much better than the white. I'm very happy with that. As I'm putting this green in, I'm almost kind of scraping the paint across so it's not too thick in one particular area. It just helps with blending. Okay. Oh, it's 10:35. That's it. I'm done. Which is good. Perfect timing because I just finished the green on those leaves and I've done as much as I wanted to do with this part here. So, I guess I will see you all next week when we'll probably start on the flower, and it'll be fun. Make sure you watch that because it's going to be good. I'll probably get very frustrated. It'll be very funny. So, until then, thank you for watching. Bye!